Hey you guys, welcome back again to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. I have been busy moving. As you can see if you look around, it's a different surroundings. So I did move into a new place and I have my own makeup room. I'm so excited. So today I am finishing up my series that I started. So the next topic in the series is about foundation. So with that being said, foundation I feel is like it's the base. It's the most important part of makeup. It's like if you can't do foundation, or if you can't find the right foundation, like you're done for. So in doing a full look, like I feel like foundation is one of the most important components in doing makeup. So today I'm pretty much gonna go over just the basics on helping you find your correct foundation color, finding out like what is best for your skin type, and then also telling you what I use for my skin type and what my correct foundation is or whatever. When you're trying to figure out what foundation is good for you, you want to understand what your undertone is. Now your skin tone and your undertone are two different things, and let me explain why they're two different things. So your skin tone, which is what you see, my skin tone, your skin tone can change, but your own undertone does not change. It's your underlining color, and that does not change. With their undertones, there are three different types of undertones. There's cool undertone, there's neutral undertone, and there's warm undertone. In order to find your undertone, you want to look at your underarm, which is your underarm, under your arm, and you want to look at your veins on your underarm. Cool undertone, if you look at your underarm, you have blue or purple veins. Okay, so people that are cool undertone, they tend to have a pink or red or blue ting. I am a cool undertone. I do have a red undertone, pinkish red undertone. The next undertone, they're called neutrals. So your neutrals, they have blue-green veins. So people that are neutral, they're neither cool or warm. And I'll get back to neutral, and then I'll tell you what warm is. Okay, so warm undertone, people that have warm undertone, they're green. Their veins are green or olive. They have green or olive veins, which warm undertones are people that are olive. If you ever hear about, some Caucasian women have an olive undertones. They skin to have yellowish, gold, or peach tinge to their undertone. So generally, you can be African American and be a cool undertone or warm undertone. People that are neutral, though, they have a neutral undertone. They're not red. They're not a red, and they don't have a gold undertone, which would make them neutral. So with that being said, I am a cool undertone. So when I'm darker, because I live in Hawaii, so when I have a tan, I can sometimes get away with wearing warm undertone foundation simply because I'm tanned. So if I didn't have a tan, if I were to put on a foundation that was made for someone that was olive, I would look crazy. Going through my foundations, like I found like some foundations that I've bought like over the years, or I've been using, and realized they weren't my correct undertone, but they kind of work simply because I'm tanned. I have a tan from being in the sun so much. But yeah, otherwise I am a cool undertone. Like even if you look at the front of my arm, like I'm tan, but if you look on my underarm, like this right here is probably like my real skin complexion. Like if I don't have a tan, like I'm really, I guess you call it fair or light skin or whatever you want to call it. So now that you guys know what your undertone is, the next step is trying to figure out what type of skin type you have. So the first one is normal skin. Normal skin, you're not oily, you're not dry, you just have normal skin. You are the lucky guys. If you have normal skin, you are the luckiest person on earth. I wish I had normal skin. People with dry skin. Dry skin is what? Dry skin. The next one is oily skin. People that just have oily skin. That sums it up. I don't think I should explain it, but you know, people that have oily skin. And then there's combination skin. So combination skin is people that have oily and dry skin. And then there's sensitive skin, which you know what sensitive skin is. But back to combination skin. Combination skin is when you have dry and oily skin. So I have combination skin. I'm oily in my T-zone, which is like, you know, underneath my eyes and my nose. I get really oily. But I have dry skin also, especially on my in my nose. The way I deal with my combination skin, I moisturize my face quite a bit before and after wearing makeup, washing my face and stuff like that. And that has helped me with my oily skin, and then just with my combination skin, and just taking care of my skin. So with that being said, people with these different skin types, I can just roughly go over what type of foundation are good for these different skin types. So some of the research that I've done for people that were dry skin, that they said that Maybelline Dream Smooth Mousse is really good for people that have dry skin. Revlon Color Stay Foundation is really good for people with dry skin. And Maybelline Dream Smooth BB Cream is really good for dry skin. I will try to at least find pictures of them so I can post them so you guys can know what they look like. Oily skin, the only thing I could really, like, just doing research that I found that worked for oily skin was Neutrogena Health Skin Liquid. And then people that have combination skin, they said that Revlon Photo Ready foundation is really good for people that have combination skin, and that's actually a really good foundation. I actually use that foundation. That is the drugstore foundation that I use in my makeup kit when I use it on other people. I'm just gonna roughly go over some of the foundations that I use, and note that I am a cool undertone and I have combination skin. So my whole issue with my foundation is that me trying to find one that once I put on, like, the oil won't seep through for so many hours. And I've kind of somewhat mastered it and figure out, like, what I really need to do for my oily skin before I start looking all greasy like I've been eating chicken and stuff. So my go-to foundations that I wear, like, a lot is, I have my Nonits Tinted Moisturizer. It is oil-free sheer cover, and this is my favorite. I bought this is in Deep 265, and I believe this is the darkest that they go. This is the darkest that they go to. I bought this, actually a drugstore foundation, and this is the foundation I use when I'm like fast rush in a hurry and don't feel like doing too much. And then next, a foundation that I just started using is Makeup Forever Matte Velvet, and this is a oil-free and water-resistant. I absolutely love this. This was actually kind of expensive. I think I spent like $36 on this, but I like it because it is a matte finish and you don't have to set it. So that's why I like this so much. And of course, if I want something that has a little bit more coverage, the foundation that I use, if I want a little bit more coverage, I use the L'Oreal True Match. And I got this in Cool. I got this in C7. Yeah, and this is normally something I wear if I'm like going out and I want like a more coverage. So those are the foundations that I use with my oily skin. And then with any skin type, you know, you always want to use a primer on your face. So putting a primer on your face allows your foundation to last longer and to seal in, I guess, keep the oil from reaching the outside of your foundation and keeping your foundation from moving. So I have two that I use. I'm pretty picky when it comes to primers because it seems as though like I'll buy one and it just won't work the way I want it to work. But I actually like the Hard Candy Sheer Envy. I really like this. It gives me like this shimmery glow under my foundation without making me look all greasy. And this I got at Walmart. It's like $5. and this lasts me for quite a while. And then a new foundation, a new primer that I started using is the Primed and Ready Face Primer by Prestige. And this was actually a pretty pricey, in my opinion, for a drugstore primer. You can see this. I think this was like $15. I live in Hawaii, so it may be like a little bit less expensive, but it was $15 at the drugstore. And I think it's so worth the money, simply because like when I pump it, like the thing pushes up, and I don't know, possibly be wasting less product. That makes, yeah. So that's what I use. Only one of those, well, the BB cream and the Makeup Forever foundation that I showed you, they don't need to be set with powder, but my True Match foundation does need to be set. So I mean, I have the matching powder that comes with it in the same color. And then also, like, you don't have to buy a powder that matches it. You can actually use a translucent powder. For women that are deep skin complexion, I don't recommend for some of you ladies to use a translucent powder unless you maybe mix it with something to make it not white, because it seems as though like women with deeper skin tones, like when they put a translucent powder, they look like a ghost. But some of the powders that I use, find it. Well, one of the powders that I've been using that I actually really like is the e.l.f. mattifying powder. I bought this, I ordered this offline. It's probably like $5. So also, you know, getting back to skin undertones, you gotta also be careful like when you buy mattifying powders, because even though it'll be like a translucent powder, it'll still have an undertone to it, as weird as that sounds. So I'm gonna get a makeup sponge so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this e.l.f. powder, because I'm gonna get like a white sponge so you can see it. But if you grab this powder, and this is the best way to do it, if you grab it, you guys can see it. Can you see that? I think the light is bright, or maybe my eyes are bad. But putting it on, I hope you can see that because I can't see it. It just looks like a white sponge to me. But when I put it on the powder, when I put the powder on the sponge, it has like a red, like pinkish undertone to it. So generally speaking, somebody that is a warm undertone, you would not want to use something that has that's not your correct undertone, because then you're going to be looking red. Next, I'm just going to talk about foundation application. So I mean, there's different ways you can apply foundation. It's really, I don't know, for me, I think it's really on preference or what works for you better. Some foundations that I've used, I realize that they're really heavy, and I don't like when stuff feels heavy in my face. So I like to spray my brushes. I like to use my stippling brush, and I spray it with my setting spray. So the setting spray, I don't know, I guess loosens up the foundation a little bit more, and it allows you to spread it a little bit more evenly. It doesn't look as heavy. Also, a good application tool to use is your makeup sponge or beauty blender. I absolutely love these. The only thing that sucks about this is that it absorbs a lot of the product. So I wouldn't recommend, unless you don't mind, but I wouldn't recommend using this on one of your high-end products, because you're messing around and the sponge will be using more than your actual face will. But these are really good. And then you can wash these. These are actually reusable if you buy I know they sell the sponge cleaners for these, but you can also like purchase like face cleaner and use it. One of my friends, I forgot the name of the face cleaner I need to get it from her, and I just do a video about it and how to clean these. But yeah, these are really, like, I love these things. So for any of you ladies that cannot afford to go, well, there's nothing wrong with wearing drugstore foundations. So what I do when I go to the drugstore, and call me ghetto, I do not care, but I actually, if they have a tester, I use the tester and see if it matches my skin tone. But I normally put it on the back of my hand, got stuff in his hand. But I normally put it on the back of my hand simply to see if it matches. Because simply that's the same color as my neck. That's why I use the back of my hand. But when you're matching foundations, you want to make sure it matches the color of your neck. Because if it doesn't match the color of your neck, when you put it on your face, it's either your face going to be too dark for your neck or it's going to be too light for your neck. And you want it to match your neck. So regardless of how light your face is versus your neck, you want it to match your neck so you won't look like a ghost. So what I like to do, if you feel like your hand does not matches the color of your neck, then what I would do, I would just bring like your own sponge or something, and I would dab it. I mean, I like to open the foundation and just dab it to see if it matches, because who wants to buy something and then get home and realize it doesn't matches? So that's just me. Also at the drugstore, not the drugstore, when you go to the higher end stores like MAC, or if you go to Sephora or whatever other places that they sell the actual cosmetics that you can actually test or have the makeup artist put on you, I would definitely recommend letting them put it on you and look at it. But the good part about the higher end, if you go home and you feel like it doesn't look right, then you can go back and return it. For some reason, I don't know, with higher end foundations, what I do, if I go and try on the foundation and I'm still not sure about it, I will sit there and I will take a picture. I'll take a picture of the foundation on me, because I want to make sure there's not a cast or I don't look like a ghost in the picture. Because sometimes you looking in the mirror, the lighting might not be good. It might look like the foundation matches, but it doesn't. So that's what I do. For some women, they tend to, well, especially for women of color, women that are darker skin complexions, sometimes the foundation like that they carry is not really catered to women of color, or sometimes it'll have like one color and then it goes to this extreme dark color, and you end up having to buy two just to mix. So if you have to buy two to make your foundations to get the correct color, I would definitely do that. You don't want to waste your money wearing, like, you don't look crazy wearing something that doesn't match your skin color. Like, you don't want to be that person, trust me, because I've been that person, and it's not cool, because then you're embarrassed and buy it later. Only, like, test out the foundation before you bring it home, just so you can make sure that's what you want, and it's the finish that you want, and you can feel how it looks. But yeah, thanks again, and I will see you guys soon.